Welcome back to the Capture Your Confidence podcast. Today we're talking about something near and dear to every mama's heart, which is the confidence to let your kiddos fail without trying to fix everything for them.
Whew, that's a big one.
I mean, how many of you guys just collectively felt a tightening in your chest?
Right? Especially because you feel like you're so good at it sometimes.
I know.
I feel like I could solve all your problems.
I really could. I really could. It's like all those years of therapy that I've gone through.
Right? But that is not the way.
Yeah, I constantly have to remind myself that my job as their mom is not to clear the runway. It's to help them build skill.
Yes.
And that's really hard because we want to protect them and clear the runway and just like, oh, if I get all the debris out of the way and you can just run, that'll be great. Your life will be so easy. You won't have to deal with the hard shit.
Yeah.
But the problem is that's not life.
Yeah.
And there's going to be hard shit.
Yeah. And they're going to leave you. And then the road is going to be full of debris.
And they're not going to have any earthly idea how to navigate it.
Yeah. They will not have developed the skills in a safe, controllable environment.
And so while out of love, your intention to clear the runway for them is so kind-hearted and so loving, it is not making them capable humans who can navigate and weather the storm of life being hard, because it will be that way.
Yeah. And when I think back of my own journey, failure has been such an important part of it that, my gosh, if that wasn't there, we wouldn't be where we are. And so then in the same breath, I'm trying to at times take that away from my kids. Yeah. Like the irony, you know, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And there is some like instinctual thing that we got to talk about here, because, you know, to ignore the fact that we aren't wired for protection, like that is, we are fighting our biology by making them capable humans.
Yeah.
We literally are. And I wonder, like back to cave woman times, like, did they think about building skills with their kids? Like, you know, they got to learn how to kill. They got to learn how to cook. They got to learn how to whatever. Like,
yeah.
I wonder if they thought about like allowing them into a zone of danger so they could build skill because they knew they had to.
I mean, I got to assume there was some method of teaching, right?
I know, but it's just like the stakes were so damn high. And today we still act as if the stakes are as high when they're totally not. Like, I act like I'm putting you in front of a tiger and you have to kill the tiger for dinner, when really it's just like, could you rollerblade down the street with a slight decline on your own? I don't know. I really don't want to let you do it.
Yeah. And I think it's important to know that there's a difference between flat out rescuing and also just offering proper guidance and support.
Yeah. But I mean, still, you have to allow them a chance to try.
Yeah.
And that's one of the scariest things of all as a mom.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the reasons why, some of the things that women think about in terms of fixing things for their kids. Like, there's some real valid fears here that I think deserve to be called out, because we worry about things for our kiddos and they're not insignificant things.
Right. I mean, I think a big one is like, what if they like feel the effects of the failure? What if they're left behind, or they fall behind, or they hurt themselves, or, you know, any of the things that could happen?
And these are very real things. I mean, kids are mean as hell. They've always been mean. Kids have always been mean to each other. But I mean, in today, I feel like they are really sharp today. Okay. Yeah. And when you've got a kiddo who is trying something new, if they fail and fall on their face in front of their peers, you're worried about what their peers are going to say about them. And you know that with their limited viewpoint of the world, that matters so much to them. Like, it will crush their confidence, right?
Yeah.
But you can't control what other kids are going to say and do.
Right.
And whether or not your child is successful, like, they're still going to be who they are. So you can't shield them from that all the time.
Yeah. And that's why I think this notion of kind of that recognition, like, okay, maybe I can't shield you from it all the time, but like, what else can I do to still give you the skills and soften the blow? Mm-hmm. I think that's like a happy middle place, you know, like, I'm going to let you fail, but I'm also maybe not going to make it like as terrible as it could be.
I have the most amazing story that happened last night. We went to dinner, and we recently, you know, we got some additional diagnosis for one of my kiddos about just like learning things. Everything is fine, but it's just like new information that we have to weather. And so we were having big feelings. And so we went into the bathroom, just the two of us, and we're talking about how we're feeling and what we're worried about and all that good stuff. I mean, there's a lot of like confidence issues that we're facing with this new information. And so I'm having a conversation with her, and you know, we get ready to go out of the bathroom. I walk out, and the bathroom door opens really quickly, and another mom was standing there. I'm going to try not to cry. Another mom was standing there, and she goes, "You're doing a really good job." So
That's
sweet. But you have to just like validate, like, yeah, that sounds really big and scary. That sounds super hard. And I know you're so capable. And I know we're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And even if they do say those bad things, we're going to be okay. And we have each other, right? So you can't shield them from what's coming their way. You can only like help build them up and equip them. And people are watching, by the way, even if you think they aren't from the bathroom stall.
Right. And I think too, this notion that like if we're coming in as moms and swooping in and fixing things, like I really do think it does a lot of harm to this narrative that like, oh my gosh, like I need help. Like everything is a big deal. Everything requires my parent or my mom to come in and save the day. And, you know, I can't do hard things. Like I can't figure it out. Yeah. And I think it just reinforces that narrative over time unwillingly. Like we're really doing it with the best of intentions, but gosh, it can have some really negative impacts.
And I'll tell you a mistake that I made in parenthood that I am now having to rework and navigate around is not allowing them to do easy things so that they can also learn to do hard things. So for example, when they say, can I have a glass of water? Well, they're perfectly capable of getting their own cup of water now. Right. And so it's like, now it's a fight, right? Well, like they won't do it themselves. Like, so if you don't start with easy stuff, you can't expect them to do hard stuff.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to empower them to do easy stuff so that they have the proof, like we were talking about in an earlier episode, so they have the proof that they can then do hard stuff too.
Yes.
And it's buildable. So if they can't get their own glass of water, then of course they can't tolerate kids being mean to them at school. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's the same skill. It's the same muscle. And, you know, that's that failure, like they have to get the cup of water and spill it. Right. And they have to pour their own cereal and make a mess. And they have to rollerblade down the hill and scrape their knee. And they have to do all those things because that is the building block of competence. Like that is what we're talking about. Like trust yourself. Like, oh, I trust myself that even if I do spill this or get hurt or whatever, there's ways to fix it, right? I can get a Band-Aid. I can clean it up. I can, you know, do whatever so that I can still move on. Like this isn't a catastrophic thing that has happened.
For sure. And, you know, on the flip side of that, I have even started to anticipate with excitement some of these moments where things are going to be harder for the kiddos because I know how important it is for them to experience that friction of things not going well. So for example, with sports teams with the kiddos and then being on more competitive sports teams, I'm like, yeah, this is actually really good because you've never lost a game and you've got to learn how to lose. Yeah. And I can't engineer that environment without putting you into like a harder league so that you can learn it. And you got to learn it now because if you become a high schooler who's never lost a game, I can't even imagine the raging fit that you're going to throw. You know what I'm saying? So, so I have even started to look at challenge as this like exciting arena for the kiddos, for them to sort of like, oh, okay, wonder how that's going to go. Can't wait to see how all this, you know, shakes out whenever they're met with adversity.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Another one that I like to do in terms of just creating these opportunities for challenge is let them be frustrated and not try to swoop in and change the, you know, oh, it's okay, it'll be fine. Like just go ahead and cry, go ahead and scream, go ahead and be irritated, and then try to see what they do at the end of that.
And this is the hardest one for me to tolerate personally. Yeah. Because I grew up in a quiet home. So I feel discomfort with like loudness or big outbursts because it was not a thing that I was used to seeing or allowed to do. Yeah. So my nervous system completely shuts down when someone yells or cries or screams. It just like powers down. Yeah. And I have a kiddo with a very big expressive like feeling, like anytime something doesn't go right there, you're going to know about it. Like we're going to hear it. Right. And trying to re-engineer my brain to not tell him to calm down and be quiet has been honestly the climb of my life. It is my Mount Everest. Like me not telling him to be quiet and stop crying is literally, it takes everything in my body to not do it. Yeah. Which is so hard, but you have to like, oh yeah, you're frustrated. Oh man, that's hard. We're going to keep trying. You're frustrated. Man, I see that.
And I think the language and the narration through it is really important. And it's tricky because obviously if you have a big feeling kid, in the moment is maybe not the best time to be narrating what they're going through. Totally. But the comeback, right? The revisiting after people have calmed down and a little bit of time has passed, I think I found that to be so powerful.
Yeah. I find that I call it like the repair time. right?
Yeah.
Of like just a postmortem conversation about like, okay, that was a time.
Yeah.
Now we can kind of unpack it that we're away from the feelings. But because when you're dysregulated and your kid's popping off, it's your inclination to stop the fit.
Yeah.
Right. And so you have to figure out a way to regulate yourself or leave the room or whatever to not try and get them to do something they can't do simply to just make you more comfortable. It's like, oof.
I know you do. I mean, you bring up a point and I'm sure we have episodes on it, but you got to regulate your own stuff.
And this game, this parenthood game, like you have to figure out how to fix your shit.
Whew.
They are going to literally show you the cracks in your armor left, right, and center. And all you have to do is pay attention to see, oh, this is a problem for me. This is a thing I need to work on. Why exactly am I so uncomfortable that he's screaming right now?
Yeah.
I mean, no one enjoys screaming, but like, why do I feel like I need to go into my body and hide? Right? Let's pay attention to those things.
Let's explore that.
Yeah. Let's dig into that one.
Okay. So let's talk about some real life examples where we have let our kids fail.
Obviously, we talked about athletics, and I think this happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know, kiddos have different personalities around this. And so I think if you have like an athletically inclined kiddo, then you're going to have bigger meltdowns in this category. If you don't, like I have one of each, right? So one kid who doesn't care whether they win, lose, or draw, and one kid whose whole identity is wrapped up in whether or not they won.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of got to know, oh, this is going to be the arena for them versus this is not.
Yeah. And I think too, once you figure that out, like, you know, I love engineering a little failure just to see how it goes. Also for myself, I like engineering a little, you know, discomfort just to see if my regulation is in check. But I think for those of you who have kids who do homework or who, you know, like to work on puzzles or that sort of a thing, like paper, pencil, sitting down to figure something out, I find that a lot in one of my kids. We don't do homework yet, knock on wood, but I think I do have so much childhood things from homework. Like that's going to be my time. That's going to be my moment.
I don't have as much personally, but my husband says that like he will never forget the feeling of his mom pulling out the red pen.
Yeah.
And just like the absolute trauma and fear of like, she's going to rip this thing up. Right. And so, and we have one kiddo that has academic like challenges. So it's like, I know that's the other arena for the other one. Like wait, one kiddo's arena is not the other kiddo's arena, and just being really careful with them and not trying to make it worse.
Yeah.
Just from your own garbage.
Yeah. And it's funny. So like one of my kids, when they were younger, if they would draw or color and something was messed up, they would like smush the paper up and throw it.
Totally.
And over time, I think from letting that happen, you know, I did not try to stop it. At first I did, right? At first it was like opening the paper. Oh my gosh, this is actually great. Look at this. This is fine. That did not seem to go very far. Like I was met with like, no, it's not. It's still bad. Like, look at this line. It actually is out of the lines. And even like we're regurgitating the issue over and over. So I started to do a couple things. I started to model myself coloring outside the lines and like having that dialogue with myself of like, oh my gosh, I messed this up. And I would say, do you think I should throw this out or keep going? And sometimes they'd say, you should throw this out. And I'd be like, okay, throw this out. But sometimes they would say, you should keep going. That's fine. Here's a way you can fix it. Or if you use this crayon, you could turn this into this. And they would show me like how to fix the paper. And so now that same kid is like an artist. It's so wild and is outside of the line, like colors how they want to color. It's like a non-issue. Mistakes are not a thing. And I don't know if there's a correlation. I mean, I have to think there's some correlation, but it is fascinating to see this evolution over the last handful of years from straight up meltdowns to now this is something that they're so passionate about and excited to do.
I relate so deeply to this child. Okay. And so here's what I want to say. As someone who has a vision for what is possible, when you start a new skill and you have a vision in your mind of what it's going to look like and you literally start to do it and it looks like a turd, not the thing that you had in your mind, it is demoralizing. And you look at it and you're like, how will I ever get to a place where it looks like what was in my mind? There's no way. I'm looking at this. It's garbage. I know what's possible. I don't have any idea how I'm ever going to get there. So we've talked about the Dunning-Kruger, you know, I start at something and I'm like, ooh, how hard could it be? I do it. Ooh, actually, this is harder than I thought. What the hell was I thinking? You have to get to the point of the other upswing of like, okay, I'm getting better. And so figuring out the frequency of plunking it back in front of them as an option to try so they can build the skill to get up on the curve, right? They have to have that in order to be able to keep going.
Yeah. And a cool lesson for me that's really empowered me as a parent to kind of let the meltdowns happen, let the failure happen. But one thing, so this is an area I need to work on. I don't like when people forget stuff. I don't like that. I feel like I could remedy that situation. I am way organized. I was built for you to not forget your soccer socks. But I think I have to let you forget your soccer socks.
You do.
Right? Like I can't be the one giving you your socks all the time.
You do.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard one for me.
It is really hard, but you know what? Like, he'll never forget him again if he has to play without his socks and gets blisters.
Yep.
He'll never play without him again.
I know.
We have a chronically forgetful household also. And I think I'm the only person in the whole house that doesn't forget things. And that is very hard and maddening.
Right.
But we are working on it actively. And sometimes that means we have to run back to the house to get cleats when we can't play a game. Like, what are you going to do?
Okay, so I think, what is this teaching our kids when we're letting them actually fail, have hard moments, and work through it? I mean, I think the biggest one, the most important one is like, you got this, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can do hard things.
Yeah. Also, you're only going to get better if you keep trying. You have to keep trying in order to get better. It's repetition. It's literally showing up over and over again. I don't know if we've talked about, you know, my son learning to rollerblade, to roller skate. But the first time we took him ice skating, he was literally terrible. My daughter picked it up right away. My son, absolutely horrible. Worst day of his life. Was so frustrated. But instead of not ever trying again, he got rollerblades and he spent hours rollerblading to get better so that by the time he started skate lessons, he would know how to skate. Yeah. And he literally still rollerblades around my house. Like, he doesn't even wear real shoes anymore. Because they're glued to his feet. So he had to decide that for himself, though. But I could create the opportunity and the environment for him to try again.
Yes, I love that. And it also shows kids that, hey, my parent believes in me. You know, my parent thinks I can figure this out, which is a big one for sure.
And like, we don't die. I think that's the biggest lesson. Like, we try things and we fail and we don't die. And we have to get them used to that feeling of it not being perfect, but I can try again.
Yeah.
Because that's life.
Yeah. All right. Now I feel empowered to go let the failure commence.
Let them forget their soccer socks. See what happens.
Right. So hopefully as you've listened to this episode, you have gotten some ideas, recognize the importance of, you know, how letting our kiddos fail actually does build their confidence in the long run.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.